what I'm going to do is I'm going to wear my Star Citizen shirt, and me and my daughter are going to do what we did last time at Comic-Con. And anybody says, Star Citizen, that's cool, we're going to like to give them like something right.
What?
Yes. Alan, hey, how's it going? How you doing, man?
How was your day yesterday, Dennis? Constellation Pen.
Oh, shoot. You had a pretty chill day. You didn't have much going on.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Reverse the Verse.
Hello.
It's Friday, August 28th, 2015. I'm one of your community managers, Jared Huckabee. This is your Director of Community Engagement, Online Strategy, and Spaceships, Mr. Ben Lesnick. That's our videographer extraordinaire, Mr. Thomas Hennessy. Sitting in the chair behind him is your other community manager, Mr. James Pugh, the OG. Peeking over Ben's shoulder, that's our subscription manager, Ms. Alexis Lesnick, and poking around somewhere back there is our associate marketing producer, Miss Alyssa Del Taco.
Hello.
Well,
Wait.
I either give...
Wait.
Yay!
Oh!
Yay!
And our Vice President of Marketing, Sandy Gardner. Hello. Hello.
Sandy, James, it looks like you're like kneeling to her or something.
Who?
What?
You were like...
Just texting my mom telling her we're live.
Oh.
All right.
As
Hello,
one
James's
does.
mom. Where
As
is
one does.
no? But seriously, where is the lasagna he keeps promising us?
Right?
What? Yeah, you do. You've mentioned lasagna several times.
My mom mentioned lasagna, man. Get on her.
All right. So as usual, we start each episode with our week in review. Sandy, since you're here, what have you been doing this week?
What haven't I been doing this week?
That's a good question.
Yeah. It's hard for me to remember what I did yesterday, let alone what I'm doing right now or what I've done for the whole week.
We have gotten emails where she says, "Guys, what did I do yesterday?"
No, we haven't.
No, we haven't.
No,
Nope.
It's usually me filing a barrage of emails saying, where's this, where's that, what happened, can we do this?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, then we'll move on to Mr. Ben Lesnick. Ben, what did you do this week?
Well, this was a weird week for us. I actually worked from home on Wednesday. I had a little cold, and on Thursday we had the California equivalent of a snow day, where a construction crew managed to slice through our entire fiber cable, taking the Santa Monica office offline. So we were all working from home. James was carrying files back and forth from our RAID array on flash drives so we could get stuff online and get ready for the Vanguard event that's happening a little bit later today. So it was a busy week, but lots of fun. We were getting ready for Dragon Con next week. Of course, the little thing, the social module hit early in the week. Woo indeed.
Yes.
And you'll be seeing more of that shortly.
Yeah, if you saw this week's ATV during the sneak peek, you saw the very first Star Citizen join the social module, and of course it was Josh. Hi, Josh.
By the way, I have to pull this up in our Skype records, but the first line that was spoken in the Persistent Universe was something about where to get tacos.
It was.
Yeah.
We did it right, guys. Congratulations.
Yep. Game finished.
But we're all just so proud of the guys in Austin for getting that out. They did an incredible job. We can't wait to see where it goes.
What'd you do this week, Alyssa? Speak up so they can hear.
Right. Sit there and do it. All right.
Yeah, go do it.
I actually helped the CS guys by answering some tickets this week, which was interesting. Learning how to use that system and also be as polite as I possibly could, which is not my forte. And then just helping Sandy chase like 107 billion T things regarding CitizenCon, and
It's not a real number.
it is too.
It's
It
not
is
a
now.
number.
I helped her chase a Google of things. How about that?
It's a real number.
What? And yeah, yesterday killed my phone twice, checking for updates on when the internet was going to be back up.
What'd you do this week, Hennessy?
I made some videos and went to a product demonstration for some software and some cameras that we hope to acquire in the future.
What kind of cameras are those?
Those would be Blackmagic cameras, or some minis to be specific. So did that and set up a piece for next week on the making of the social module that you guys might see on the Runverse.
Hooray!
So putting that together for next week's episode. So I'm working with Austin on how we can basically film a piece without me being in Austin, and so that's been challenging the last couple of weeks. So that's coming together, and you guys will see that next week.
Cool. Justin, what'd you do this week?
No work.
No, I spent most of this week on my anniversary vacation.
Yay!
Hey.
Where?
Where'd you go?
Cancun.
All right.
Yes.
Yay.
So partied it up.
So while we were all here working, you were in Cancun.
He missed the great internet outage
Yeah.
of 2015.
But he came back for Friday.
I did. I came back for Friday for casual.
The
Yeah,
day
well,
when there's nothing to
Yeah. We're gonna talk about that later. Mr. James Pugh, Mr. OG, what did you do this week?
Worked on a bunch of posts that hopefully you'll see today. We had to work to get the episode out because we were kind of down a man, and
Yeah,
Hennessy
that was
decided
exciting.
to just take a vacation Wednesday.
Yes, I said more than a few colorful metaphors on a Wednesday. We got it
and
done,
then-
though.
Yeah, Ben and I have been working on a couple posts that go out today. There's a lot of stuff going out today.
In fact, let's talk about stuff that's going
Yeah.
on today, because we have posts up the wazoo, as the kids today are saying.
No one said
No, it says
No.
that.
There seems to be a lot of debate about whether or not I should have lost my beard or not.
You should not have lost your beard.
If by a lot of debate you mean nothing, then yes.
There's no debate.
I think you're pretty no matter what's going on.
All right,
I'm
so
just saying,
Ben,
is there reading it?
what's going out today?
So big ones. We've got the Vanguard. You're going to meet the new variants. That's a very, very cool post. It's just undergoing its final styling right now by Turbulent. Turbulent, we love you. Please style our post.
If you're watching Turbulent, answer our calls, style the post.
So our hope is that'll be out a little bit earlier in the day. You're going to see it's focused very largely on the interiors of the new variants. So you're going to see how those all differ. You're basically going to see a lot about if you don't want a new Vanguard, you just want to see what's in your old one. We have you covered there. There's a cool video Gurmak did where it's like a cutaway where he shows you how you get into the different areas of the ship. It's our most thoroughly concepted interior at this point for a concept ship, I believe. It's a cool post that'll be up earlier in the day. To go with that, Todd Pappy, Matt Sherman, and our Elite Design Corps have put together a shorter design post on E-War, what we're doing for jamming and electronic warfare and all that. I believe that is actually on my plate now. I need to sex that up for public release. I will be doing that after this. It's a shorter design post, but some cool stuff. And that's to go with the Vanguard Sentinel, which is an E-War ship variant. It'll also apply to the Hornet Tracker and some of the stuff the Herald, the Symmetrical Herald, does.
Symmetrical Herald.
Symmetrical Herald. So that's in the works. We have the standard FPS post, which is coming from Jason Hutchins in Austin. If you are listening to us, Jason Hutchins, please do that. We've got a post with the DragonCon schedules for me, Sandy, and our two Daves. That's just about ready to go. We'll have that up momentarily. We are doing a little social media roundup. As you know, Star Citizen's social media has caught fire in the last week, so we're going to do a little roundup post talking about how you get information from our Facebook, our Twitter, and how you can follow our devs, even though they're, it's their private accounts. Some of them are willing to share their lives with you. We're going to start compiling basically an index of that. We'll talk about stuff like the digital trading cards that we've been creating,
Digital
the
trading
I'm a Star
cards.
Citizen stuff. So kind of right up there. James is working on that post right now.
Well, not right now,
We're not right now. No, he's just
but now.
laying around like a lazy bird man right now.
Bird person.
Bird
person.
Yeah.
Person, sorry.
Don't be birdist.
What else do we have today?
Dub.
That's all the ones we're allowed to talk about, but there is another potential post later today that will be a surprise if it happens. And if it doesn't, it will be disappointment.
Can I touch on the trading card?
Sure, talk about the trading cards.
So we've started a new line of I'm a Star Citizen digital trading cards. They're going up on our Instagram page. The first one went up this morning. I'm going to see if I can put it up on the screen here. Yep. That's our very first card, the Vanguard Warden Attacks, number 56 in the set. And you can see that on Instagram. And because every card needs a back, I am adding the back to Instagram right now. So that just went up on Instagram right now. So, yeah, look for those. Check back every day.
Yep, we thought that would be a fun way to grow our Instagram. When we do social media, one of our big things is we don't want it to be the place you get information. We want it to be an extra fun thing. So we thought creating a trading card set, clearly inspired by the old Star Wars Topps cards, which several of us here are quite obsessed with. We thought it would be fun, and we hope you guys enjoy it too. And we'll do more of that in the future if it goes well. Meanwhile, on the Twitter front, we have the I'm a Star Citizen that's just taken off. It's really heartwarming to read all of your posts. Like, I'm a Star Citizen too. Wow, it's a real live action one.
Okay. I didn't realize you had to slide over so fast. I had the sides mixed up, but go ahead.
So if you'd like to do one of those for Twitter or Facebook or wherever you post filled out surveys with your picture on them, please do that. We love seeing them. Hashtag it I'm a Star Citizen. It's at I'mAStarCitizen.com. Very kindly put up by a backer. Which backer was that?
Human Error.
Human Error.
Yeah, so www.I'mAStarCitizen.com. If you don't do the wwws, it doesn't always work. So, and there's a generator up there. You can make your own. Post them on social media and use the hashtag so we can see them. Otherwise, we're not going to see them.
Be sure to include the HTTP or it won't go to the web.
And it's I'm a Star Citizen, not I am a. It's I'm a Star Citizen.
You're a Star Citizen.
Right, that's all. I was playing.
Went nowhere.
I was playing. No, you want to know what's cool? Watch this. Check this out. You haven't seen this yet.
It's better be cool.
It's not gonna be cool.
It's better be.
Look at that.
Okay, that is.
Oh. What? It's like our trading cards. I was going to leave it up the whole episode. Yeah, okay, fine.
Wowie zowie.
Kids are saying that these days.
Yeah.
Wowie
Wowie
zowie.
zowie.
You guys are so in line.
Ben
with
and I are
modern
stuck
things.
in the 1950s.
Yeah, it's on fleek.
Anyway,
Actually, Allie and I are actually stuck in the 1990s. We can mention this about our weekend review. We started watching X-Files from the beginning to get ready for next year's reboot, rekindle, whatever you call it.
I think it's just a continuation.
Yeah,
6 episodes. It's an event series.
So we started watching the original ones from 1993, and we're pairing them with whatever the #1 music video of the week was, which has proved to be an unfortunate decision in many cases.
Sounds amazing. I need to do that.
Meatloaf was a lot more popular back then.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. We should also reiterate the I'm a Star Citizen info card contest that you mentioned on Around the Verse.
Oh yeah, I should say it doesn't have to be one of the info cards. Feel free to throw the info cards up there, but just anything that shows you're a Star Citizen. Cool stuff you created, your gaming rig, some idea you have for the game, just tag it I'm a Star Citizen, and we'll be looking through all that, and we'll hand out some Vanguards next week.
Woo!
So, all right, 11:15. 1/4 of the show down. It's
45
time
minutes to go.
It's time to start in with the questions. All right, let me push some buttons here so we can see all the questions.
Yeah, watch Mr. Robot.
Oh, and DragonCon. We are getting ready for DragonCon next week. Our panel is on Saturday at, I believe, 5:30 in the Hilton. That's the big one, the Star Citizen Q&A. We'll be answering all your questions just like this, but live in a room full of other people. And we'll have a couple cool things to show off. We'll have some swag. If you see us at the show, just come up to us and demand a pin or something, and we'll do our best to give it to you. DragonCon is one of my favorite shows there is. I used to go as a fan back in the what do you call the 2000s? Aughts. Okay.
Well, I don't know. That's what we started calling. I don't know if that's official.
Okay. And it's just a
I don't think any of
it
it's
has a great
official.
vibe.
I'm pretty sure it's all official.
Like a writhing mass of geeks everywhere. It's great. So I'm looking forward to that. And you should be too.
All right, ready to start in on the questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Ben,
Let's
what did you
see.
eat for dinner last night?
What did I eat for dinner yesterday?
What did you think?
I ate pizza.
You get a burger.
I had a burger.
Yes. My diet got a little derailed, but we're back on. Okay.
Does Ben die? No, I do not.
Ben, are you sick?
When will we have?
I am getting over a cold. I'm pretty much better now.
Yeah, I had the cold yesterday. It wasn't nearly as severe. Ben was pretty stuffed up. Sounded funny. Funnier than normal, anyway.
How's the social module looking right now, Ben?
Social Module is looking great. I bet a lot of you have actually played it. They very quickly diagnosed some connection issues. I think which had more to do with the launcher than the actual persistent universe itself. But we've had it's been going a lot better than we expected. Really, from the test, we've been able to ramp up the number of players pretty quickly, and that will continue.
Question for Alexis. Is there a status update on the physical Star Citizen cards for Concierge?
Yes, I've been working with Ryan Archer this week. He's been creating the art for these. We should be selling them, I would say, within the next month or so. It'll be a very special card just for Concierge folks. We're doing a non-personalized card because, as you know, there can sometimes be issues with that. So we'll have more info in the coming weeks about how you can order that.
Our weekly CCU system update. It's still pending some testing. Basically, they've got a lot on their plate. It's on the schedule, and it will be ready when it's ready.
There will be CCUs for the 2 Vanguard variants. People who have an existing Vanguard and want to swap to a Harbinger or a Sentinel. There will also be what we're calling battlefield upgrade kits. We called them field upgrade kits for a while until we started thinking about acronyms. And basically what that is an in-world thing where you can...
Sorry, go ahead.
It's an in-world thing where instead of buying a second Vanguard, you could just buy a battlefield upgrade kit that will let you swap out the components. So basically, little piles of ship parts. Hopefully, save some money for existing Vanguard pilots. The only thing you don't get with that is the changed styling. All the little differences don't impact the stats of the variants. But you can convert to the same stats as the Vanguard, Harbinger, or Sentinel, or both. You can swap them around as well. Basically, it's a similar system as the Retaliator pods, but external instead of internal. And that should be fun. I'm also pleased to announce that the 2 Vanguard variants were overpriced a little bit in our first analysis. So they're slightly cheaper. I think it's about $10-15 cheaper each in the final SKU, and you guys will have access to those shortly. So we take our kind of reviews seriously for pricing ships based on components.
Yes. Ultimately, most Vanguard information is coming later today, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh no, we can talk about some of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can certainly try to answer Vanguard questions.
Mm-hmm.
I saw somebody ask about patches. Yes, we will have those again soon as well.
There's another question about how the CSQ is going.
CSQ is still very backlogged. I see people on the forums talking about how it's been 8 or 9 days since their ticket's been replied to, and that's about I think where the queue is. I think we're a little over a week behind right now. So
We're trying.
continued patience. The UK CS team is working their butts off.
Completely off.
Yeah,
they're completely, their butts are completely gone
They
now.
are
There are
butts.
no more
So-
butts.
And we've been helping out here as much as we can as well. So just know it's one of those times. It's gonna be a few weeks.
What's your favorite Vanguard, Ben?
Somebody asked what happened to the FPS update last week. There was an FPS update last week. It was on Friday, late in the evening, but it did happen.
For clarification, I don't know if he's done with this, but there is no more Elphonic update on ATV because we have the FPS update week.
Oh.
It seemed like it made just sense, and we wanted to get Frankfurt in finally. So
Yes, that's a good point. I've seen some conspiracy crafting about this. Ilphonic is still working on Star Marine. we've just we now have a fourth internal studio that can do videos. They're all set up to share what they're working on in Frankfurt, and we just swap that out for them because you still get the FPS update on Fridays, the text one. So it's not a case of Ilphonic being kicked to the curb or anything like that.
There was no slight. It just made sense.
Yeah. Because we have half a dozen outsources: Moon Collider, other ones that have behavior, turbulence, so on, and they don't do
this one.
like the one we always meant. No. And we generally don't require they do video updates. So we're gonna focus on our internal studios for the news from around the verse, on around the verse. Is there anything we don't name around the verse?
No.
Okay.
Will the Vanguard Warden also be up for sale today?
It will. No more LTI, but if you want one with 2-year insurance, you'll be able to pick one up during the sale.
And somebody had asked which one of the Vanguards is your favorite.
I am a fan of the Harbinger. It's the torpedo armed fighter bomber version. Going way back to the original concept for the Vanguard, the idea was that it would be similar to the twin engine fighters in World War II, the Messerschmitt 110, the P-38 Lightning, and so on and so on. So it would be able to be converted to be, our version of a night fighter or a fighter bomber or a long-range recon photoplane. And so that's what we're doing here with the variants. This idea of field upgrade kits, battlefield upgrade kits, where so it happens in the field rather than something you go home for. We have some cool fiction that we've worked up on the military side where, these mixed squadrons of Vanguards work together to do long-range bombing runs from forward operating bases. It's cool stuff. My hair is terrible today.
Yeah, I was like,
That's why I'm wearing a hat. I wasn't wearing a hat this
your
morning.
Hair, wondering what was going on with it.
What happened to my hair?
Dad will say shut.
Yeah, like 5 minutes before the show, I went, I'm going to go get my hat.
Someone who would love to have Ben's hair. Shut up.
I like the Harbinger just because of the name. Harbinger's my favorite. I like that word.
You really like
It's
Mass
also
Effect.
olive drab, which is like my favorite color.
You really like Mass
So.
Effect, don't you?
Somebody was asking, we mentioned going to that air museum in Palm Springs, and they wanted to know when we were going and could they join us.
Certainly you could join us. We could make a weekend starts and hang out of that. Let's figure that out offline.
Yep. Yeah, it something we want to do. It got supplanted by talk of going to medieval times. So all week this week we were trying to figure out when we could all go to medieval times because it's the end of summer sale. Tickets are like $25 off. There's a free plug, medieval times. Give us free tickets.
Woo!
Yes, we're gonna do that. We have to as soon as this is done. We have to figure out
I've
exactly.
never been to a medieval times. I'm very excited.
It's a dinner and tournament.
I love
Very
medieval
excited.
times. I love medieal times.
But if you want to hang out with some of us idiots on one of these stupid idiot things we do, next week, Thursday night after work, we will be at the Toys R Us in Culver City for Star Wars: The Force Awakens merchandise release. So if you want to come wait in line with a bunch of Star Citizen us, then feel free so to do.
It will be the saddest thing we do all year.
No.
I hope.
The saddest thing I do each year is when new Hallmark ornaments come out and I go buy the Star Trek.
Yeah, but at least we got that done in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, that was over.
That was over and done.
we
We're going to
could
spend
forget it
several
then.
hours
Mom-
sitting in a parking lot
Mama bought me the Crayola
to buy Star
Crown,
Wars toys at midnight.
Hallmark
It'll be a little
ornament
sadder.
Since I was like 1 year old.
Will the Vanguard escape pod modules be interchangeable, like in the Retaliator? Could you add the Harbinger's pod with the torpedoes?
Yes, that is part of the upgrade kit. The escape pod in the Warden pops right out, and you pop in the torpedo racks.
No.
Mix and match.
By the way, thank you to everyone who did not reply to Sandy's picture of the torpedoes in the Vanguard with nice racks.
But now you put that idea
Yeah, so it's-
out into the world.
The 4 of you.
If it didn't already exist.
Sure, it already existed.
Will we have private message and social modules soon?
I do not know about soon, but we will by and by.
Yeah, Tony owns the chat system. We've had a couple conversations with the Austin team this week about the chat system. They got many plans. It's very iterative. Lots coming.
Yeah, I will say one thing about Arena Commander, you know, we put it out and we spent a lot of time, I would call it almost experimenting, basically taking Arena Commander and saying, okay, this doesn't work, let's do this. The physics system is not accurate here, blah, blah, blah. So it was a lot of stuff you didn't predict. You know, each iteration required a lot of bug fixes that were not something that were in a long-range plan at all. For the social module, it is very, very, very different because it has been basically timed out very, very, very carefully. So we know that in this reads there's this and this for like the next year or so to get us to the persistent universe. And it's really cool seeing that happen. I have a lot of faith in the guys out there that this will work out pretty well.
Who from LA is going to CitizenCon? That question's been asked a couple of times.
I think just Sandy and Chris right now, and Hennessy, our video guy.
Yeah. But you probably couldn't hear her. The question was who from the LA office is going to CitizenCon. It's just Chris and Sandy and Hennessy who's running a live stream.
But you're gonna have about 100 UKalians who will be there too. UKalians. That's what people from England are called.
I've never heard that before.
I just made it up.
No one has.
Any status update on the new holotable?
No ETA in the new holotable. We know you want it. We know it will work, but it's one of those things where it's a task rather than a thing to develop.
Is that toast in the background?
That was toast in the background.
Was.
Yep.
I was sitting over there eating toast.
Is the Vanguard Harbinger superior to the Retaliator?
No. I mean, in the same way that, I mean, what does superior mean in a bomber? Is like a Dauntless or a Measurement 410 or something superior to a B-17? No, they're just different, totally different things. You're going to have less ordnance on a Retaliator Harbinger, but you also have a little bit more maneuverability. So it's a trade-off, like everything in Star Citizen and life. What name's in my hair?
Yeah. This
Got
is,
beaks.
this is a.
Thank
Oh
you.
God.
Aw.
Hi, I'm Baseball Ben.
Look how
Good.
cute you looking
And I'm
at.
Fluffy Hat.
Good. Now you have
Lando.
lice.
No, I don't have lice. I just have fluffy hair. Yeah. So
Now you have lice.
now I have lice.
It's okay, we share.
Friendship life. Hashtag
Yeah.
friendship life.
Going back to the Battlefield upgrade kits, are there any other ships that we plan to put Battlefield upgrade kits for?
I can't say yet. But the Hornet lineup might get something like that someday.
Ooh.
So I guess I did say.
What's going on? You
Read.
good?
Redeemer versus Vanguard. How is that matchup supposed to play out? TBD, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, each, as quote Star Trek 2, each according to his own abilities and so on.
Yeah. 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 Whenever people ask those questions about this ship versus that ship, the best example we got of how that's supposed to work out was our Gamescom demo, when the Retaliator was supposed to win that fight with the Connie. You know, in every playthrough, the Retaliator was supposed to win that fight, and then the crew got in there, and the crew made their own destiny. So it's not so much about this ship versus that ship; it's about that crew versus this crew. So play better, and you should be all right. Will CIG be going to PAX South?
No plans for PAX South at the moment, although of course our Austin office is full of giant nerds who I'm sure will be going on their own time. If we have some compelling reason to be there, maybe we'll plan something, but it will be decided later, I think. Not on our schedule right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead and finish.
No, go ahead.
No? Okay. I just saw a bunch of questions I was going to try to hop in and answer. I don't have a lot of information on the freelancer right now because that's been handed off to the UK. I think I mentioned last week we're trying this new thing where we're doing the art for ships by manufacturer because it just helps us keep things stylistically more the same. It's just a little bit easier on us. So they're actively working on it. I don't know the status right now, but I can try to find out for next week. I saw some questions about the Drake Dragonfly. probably won't see that concept before the end of 2015 because we only have so many left. But that's ultimately no decision I'm going to be making. I'll just say I would be surprised if we'd see it before the end of 2015. And next week on Ship Shape, I'm going to try to probably do the Avenger. So tune in for that.
Once again, blanket answer for all ship status questions. Guys, we do have the post on the forums that has our most updated information that we're ready to release. So, asking when this ship will come or when that ship will come, whatnot, we don't have answers for you at this point.
Yeah. I'll try to tell you about like development schedules when I can, but that doesn't always coincide with marketing at all. Sometimes we drive, sometimes when we're going to do things, they have to make decisions based on it, and sometimes they'll make decisions and we have to, so it's not always 100% hand in hand one way or the other. Yeah. So.
Oh, Ben, will the new Vanguard variants have LTI?
Yes, the two new ones will. The Warden will not.
Yes.
I was to note we will have a Warden battlefield upgrade kit. If people didn't have Warden before, they can pick up a Harbinger or a Sentinel, and then have the Top Gun and the escape pod from the Warden added to it.
And will these new variants come with how similar ships have come lately with a Takatsu model and poster?
Yes, they.
Here's a question. Can you tell my friend Andy to buy a Vanguard Sentinel because it's awesome? Andy, buy a Vanguard Sentinel because it's awesome.
You're saying?
Sorry. I needed you to repeat it back or else I would have forgotten the words by the time it flew by.
Will the variants be sold on Friday in Europe? Most of our times are based here in LA. It'll be Friday our time. We're trying to get that out as soon as possible.
We have a strong hope that they will be sold before Friday in Europe. We had a post this morning, and then we took a look at it and we said, no, make this fancier. So those beautiful boys at Turbulent are fancifying the post right now. Why am I talking like this?
No, a strong hope and the beautiful boys at Turbulent.
Any plan for Paris Games Week?
No plans for Paris Games Week, unfortunately, because I would love to go to Paris.
We've talked about it.
We did talk about it.
We've talked about it. I think we'd all...
There were some tentative plans at one point. But,
like to go to Paris.
Yeah.
It's just...
Fancifying.
Yeah.
Someone was asking, should we not talk about how I talked about the communication station twice on Around the Verse? I don't care that much.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone cares that much. We've all forgiven ourselves and moved past it.
Yes.
Disco, when are you going to remove your mask? Alright, chat's getting weird here. Give me something I can use. Will Anvil Aerospace get a capital ship someday?
Maybe. They will have it's not quite a capital ship, and it's not quite a woman. It is the Crucible, which can fit fighter. It can carry a fighter around in it, so it's larger than a single seater. It's a mini capital ship, and that's coming soonish.
Love running around ArcCorp. We love running around ArcCorp too. It was one of the highlights of my time here, being able to be there when it went live and welcome the first citizen, which, if you saw ETV this week, was Josh.
Because of course.
Because of course. Josh.
Shout out to Josh.
First.
If we ever do one of those stupid precursor plots that sci-fi games always do, and you have to discover what creature seeded genes of humanity to create the universe, it should just be a giant Josh head at the center of the universe.
Currently in PlanetSide, Chubby Blast, Chubby. You wrote Chubby. All right.
They're both ridiculous names.
Cubby Blast sign says since 2935, but the ad rolling says since 2750. What's the deal?
When you see something like that happen, a wizard did it.
That means submit a bug report.
No, maybe not a bug report, but we will address that. That is actually the sort of stupid little detail that we love fixing.
Yes, but which one will it be? Which one is the right date?
Well, there's a Cubby Blast history and jump point that should have the right date.
Nerds. Will CIG be at EGX?
No, owing to the fact that I'm not sure what EGX
Yeah, I don't know what
is.
EGX is either.
Maybe it's something we do all the time, and we will be there.
Yes, Chris Smith and Josh Coons are still working on the Constellation.
I don't know if they're working on the Phoenix or
No, they're
Yeah.
still. Yeah, we work on the base model and then we
Yeah.
go to the variants. So,
yeah, but they're working on it. It's looking great.
yeah, is it possible to invite Tony Z to RTV? We would love to.
Unfortunately, Tony is based in Austin, and he's one of those people who exists outside of time. So maybe he'll show up at 2:30 in the morning to answer questions on chat. But he's like a horse. You can't break.
How cool was that for him to jump into chat at 2:00 in the morning?
Yes.
And
yes.
spew a design post on the social module in chat.
That was awesome.
It was pretty amazing. I read about it on Reddit.
And as we get ready for the social module to go live to everybody, he is working on an introductory post. In fact, I saw a draft of it arrived in my mailbox just now, so we'll be checking that out after this.
People ask about my cat. I haven't seen her in a while. I think that she got sick when I was coming. Well, not like. I think she got sick of my shit. I should say, sick of my
Shit.
Stuff.
sick of my ships that I was working on for Gamescom, and that's why. And she's like stopped like hanging out because she didn't know when I was home.
Yeah.
I've seen her around, so I know that she's alive.
I feel like she'll.
Yeah, she'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I think we also got like some cat treats that she didn't like, and
Mhm.
so she's not as interested.
Mm.
I fixed that. We'll see.
Will the Phoenix ever be sold again?
There are some Phoenixes remaining at this point. I think there were a couple left at the end of the last sale, like less than 30, and but people have melted them since. We could offer another wad of them at some point.
Mm-hmm. How is the Carrack looking? I really want to hear more about it.
No changes to the Carrack lately, but when we do start more work on it, you will be the first to know. By the way, I'm going to say two words. Something I had a little meeting about this morning that, and I will say no more about this, but just letting you know, Caterpillar variants. So.
And then Twitch chat exploded.
No, we're getting to the point where we're looking at putting the Caterpillar, that into the game, that part in the process. So we are thinking more seriously about what's next for it.
So I was asking about the banning merchantman. So we don't have anyone slated to work on it super soon, but I know it's been brought up again as, hey, we should actually put this in soon and work on this more so than since I've been here so far. So I might have more information coming up, but right now I don't have any new information. I'll keep you guys posted. I know, trust me, as soon as I know anything about that ship, you guys will be the first to know because I know everyone's excited about that ship.
In the future, will we be able to explore more of ArcCorp?
Yes.
Yes. In fact, in that chat we were just talking about, where Tony Z jumped into Star Citizen chat at 2:00 in the morning, he mentioned that a lot of those alleyways that don't seem to go anywhere will expand into new areas. You'll notice the doors to Kasaba, I think it's Kasaba, are currently closed. That will open at some point, and there are many plans. It will be a very iterative experience, and you'll get to see just how a video game is made, which is basically true of this entire project.
I saw a question earlier, it went by too fast, but it was about the HUD on certain ships and the Merlin HUD. So we actually have Zane, our UI artist over in the UK right now, to work with some of their UI designers over there to come up with some strategies for basically how manufacturers are going to be styled. For example, I think someone asked about like the holographicness in one of the HUDs. Some manufacturers will have that as the way that we're thinking it'll go, and other ones won't. It'll be more kind of what fits with that company's vibe. So that's something they're over there talking about and working on right now. But in general, similar manufacturers will have more similar HUDs. If one has a holograph, then chances are others by the same manufacturer will, but they aren't all going to. They're all going to be awesome because Zane is a genius.
Any update on a new Jump Point hardcover?
No updates, I'm sorry to say.
Somebody asked if there'll be buggy racing in ArcCorp.
Someday.
I want it so bad. I've talked to everybody. Erskine. I've talked to Jake Ross. I've talked to Tyler Whitkin. Gerald Manzies, and people who don't have anything to do with it. I've talked to everybody at Austin. All I want to do is drive my buggy around and do ArcCorp Demolition Derby. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I'm championing it. We'll see how ineffective I am.
Is this our actual microphone I knocked over?
No.
Okay.
Not today. We had some troubles with that one, so this is our replacement here. By the way, how is the sound? Is the sound somewhat better this week? Let us know in chat. Let's see. Are the blades on the Vandal fighters supposed to heat up after they're extended? Matt
What?
Sherman? Notice I timed that question to the arrival of two of our designers.
Do the blades heat up? They don't have. They shouldn't even have a heat pool to heat up. Like, how does? I will look into that, but what?
They shouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think he's saying that. I can't tell if he's saying that they do and asking you if that's how it should be, or if he
No,
just
they,
wants
they,
them
they
to.
should not, and I don't understand how they might be capable of it.
You guys need to step forward a little bit more. I'm having a hard time hearing.
Okay. A question for Calyx. Why don't the glaive blades do any damage?
Do they not? I've also seen them do damage. I mean, I'll look into that as well because we've had issues with some of our integration stuff on account of internet. So not everything has made it in.
A couple questions about why they can't walk into certain areas of ArcCorp. Because it's iterative. It will expand.
Yeah, you guys are seeing the grain of sand. There's going to be a whole beach.
No, that's a good analogy. Normally I have to shake my head, but that's actually a pretty decent analogy.
I still don't know anything about the freelancer. We handed it off to the UK. But if you ask that question on the Ask a Dev ship thread, which I've been neglecting for a few weeks because of Gamescom and follow up from that, but I'm going to try to go back to, then I will try to direct the correct people to your question.
Can folks take the rocket turret from the Harbinger and attach it to the Warden?
Yes, that's the idea behind the upgrade kits. You swap out you make it the other ship essentially without the styling. So you have the same stats. It just
people are asking about updates on the Cutlass and like why we haven't been talking about it a ton. Honestly, from my experience, this is something that we've kind of handed back and forth a lot. We've had a lot more teamwork on that ship between the UK and LA. So I think both of us have been kind of hesitant to give many in-depth or certain updates because we're like, oh, well, but we're just going to give it off to them really quick. And I know that a big part of what we were working on was getting everything ready for Gamescom. And we have, some other stuff coming up that we want to make that are also a priority that we want to, and now we got that to a place where, it was solid for Gamescom. We want to make sure that everything else that has potentially, more pressing deadlines and dependencies gets handled before we go back to focusing too overly much on the Cutlass. So that's kind of that situation. We're not like withholding anything. It's not a disaster.
I do have an update on the Cutlass, although it isn't the art updates that you're talking about, which is part of the patch that isn't in the current patch but will be in this coming patch. Is we changed the health of hull with our balance pass previously, but we did not go back and change the health of components. As a result, the big components sitting on the side of the Cutlass still had the old health values, and so would explode if you looked at them. So I've gone in and I've increased those health values by quite a lot, and going through all this should also be affecting the Hornet. I believe the Gladius is not helped by this because they mostly lose their thrusters because they have lost a wing, and the thrusters are on a wing. So that's going to get more addressed with some of John Pritchett's future flight model updates that will allow for unbalanced thrust input, where basically your ship has a really hard time pushing on this side if it can't also push on this side, so you'll start like spinning. So that's some of the stuff coming down the pipe that'll help Gladius. But in the meantime, everybody who's affected by losing the physical object should be assisted by the new health of the components.
A couple people have asked if they could take the rocket turret from the Vanguard and put it on the Retaliator.
I don't know, given the current design of it. It was originally spec'd that you could, but that if that's the case, and as it was designed originally, whether or not that's still the case, because I haven't touched it in a while, but it was also designed that if you are able to transpose this to other ships, it doesn't come with its suite of ammo, so you just have what's actually on the rack, which means that you get your some 30-odd shots before this is now a useless turret.
Yeah.
So buyer beware.
Yeah, when you see the Harbinger, it's got these cool. It's got the rockets that are on there, and then there's this whole section in the back with more rockets and a cool reloading system. That's part of it. So.
The folks have asked about a tournament at Dragon Con. I don't believe we're going to do one this year. Last year it came up suddenly, I think last week. So if you are the person who set that up last year, we'd love to do it again. We will support you with prizes and cool stuff and all that. If not, that's also okay.
So, because I see another question on the rocket turret being able to rotate 360. Something to keep in mind with that concept piece is, since it's a concept, we still haven't fully answered everything. So, yeah, we'll most likely do some cleanup as that gets fully built out into a game playable asset to make sure that you're not tearing a feed belt off your ship to turn around and shoot some guy behind you. So that will definitely be taken into consideration.
Do I look Amish? No. You look more Amish in this hat than I do.
He's got the black high neck.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the shirt?
Well, like it looks distinct on him. When you put it on, it looks like you're like an Indiana Jones fan or something.
I look Amish now.
Helen, let's see if I can. I missed something. Let me see if I can look Amish.
Maybe a montage where the team tries on various hats.
Friend shot here.
Oh my god.
This hat changes your religion.
Yes.
No, you'd have to like lose the mustache. To have the
Oh, that's
result.
right. I have too much mustache. I have too much mustache to be Amish. Gosh, it's a little disappointments in life.
The problem is now we've confirmed that I do have the top of the head.
Yep.
We'll cut that out.
And we all have lice now.
People in chat are being really creepy towards Lisa today.
Yep.
Really
They were creepy towards Sandy earlier.
Hey, people, stop being creepy.
Stop being creepy.
Actually, there's
No,
always people
no,
like
it's
that. I have to
unacceptably
say, in general, there's a lot less creepiness than I expected from the internet.
These are
Somebody,
sad words.
Still plenty of creepy.
somebody asked if the Harbinger comes with a railgun.
That's a good question. Let's answer that.
I don't believe it does.
I don't think it does.
Doesn't one of them have the math shower? I don't remember which one though.
Is
I don't think so.
is the new are there plans to sell the new Corvette this year?
TBD. When it's ready, it's ready.
How will ships go from hangar to the takeoff platform when it comes to the PU, or will it take off from the hangar?
The door will open and it'll go right out. In fact, I remember being very concerned about this in the early days in Austin, and we had a whole series of meetings where we came up with this Japanese car-style garage where the ship would go into a platform and it would carry it up, and you'd see the other hangars around it. I don't know if that's still what's going to happen or not, but we have certainly thought it through.
When are we expected to see new weapons in the Voyager Direct store?
Not soon.
Not soon enough. No, weapons are. You're going to see some more components in the not too distant future. Weapons will be coming behind those.
It's been the topic of discussion